very interesting that you described their relationship as a completion, because Malcolm and Betty were numerically, they were actually a mirror of one another when you go beneath the surface of the numbers, just looking at their birthdays. So they were both born in the month of May. As I was born, mentioned 9 days apart. Number 9 representing a complete cycle, since it starts at 1, ends at 9. But the numbers don't end at the 9. They just cipher back and restart a new cycle. So they're both born in the 5th month. Malcolm born on the 19th. Dr. Betty born on the 28th. 1 plus 9 equals 10. 2 plus 8 equals 10. So the day of the month that they were born on both add up to a 1. Malcolm born in 1925. 1 plus 9 plus 2 plus 5 equals 8. Dr. Betty born in 1934. 1 plus 9 plus 3 plus 4 equals 8. So they went through the same life cycles. As in numerology, the month represents the formative years, the day of the month represents the productive years, and the year represents the harvest years. So needless to say, with the identical life cycles, they also have identical life path numbers and identical pinnacle lessons and challenges. And what all that means is the purpose that they were placed in this physical realm to serve was identical. They had identical lessons to learn, being that they're facing the same challenges and the same lessons. They can lean, they lean on one another in order to master those lessons. That's what the life path number is, those life lessons. And when you add up those 3 life cycles, that adds up to a 5. So they were both number 5 life path numbers. And we also see that 6 and 9 show up in those smaller life cycles that appear within the life path, which we call the pinnacle. So that life path number, those are lessons that exist from birth to transition, the entire duration of one's life. Pinnacle lessons and challenges, these are 4 cycles within the entire lifespan that represent lessons, or I would call them checkpoints along the way to mastering that life path number. And for both of them, that first lesson, that first pinnacle represented the years from birth to age 31. From birth to age 31, although they're not the same age, they have the same cycles. They were both going through a number 6 lesson. And then at age 32, that's when you transition into the second lesson. That's a number 9 lesson. So there goes that 6 and 9 once again. So during those early years in which those adolescent years, and then leading up to the time in which they met, they courted for a brief period and married, they were each going through a number 6 lesson, which is centered around family and a home. And like we said earlier, the number 6, which is healing, and looking at the flow of the number 6 is shaped like the womb, also connected to the family and birth. And during that time, they were also going through a number 4 challenge, lessons or certain challenges that they had to overcome, which is the number 4, and learning how to do a lot with a little bit, which is one of those main lessons of the 4, and being efficient. So that theme of completion for Malcolm and Betty is considering and seeing one another as equals all the way to the core, to the essence of it, and leaning on one another to fulfill each respective person's life purpose and to overcome the challenges that they encountered, from Malcolm's short life to Betty's longer life.